the zone, and next month the Education Department will restart collecting on defaulted student loans. The announcement marking an end of a period of leniency, which began during the pandemic. Starting May 5th, the department will begin involuntary collection through the Treasury Department's offset program. Currently, more than 5 million borrowers are in default on those federal student loans. Joining us now is research fellow at Cato Institute Center for Educational Freedom, Andrew Gillen. Good to see you. This has been a big point of conversation for a long time, and then finally we've come to this point where there are a lot of loans on default, and those people, whether they like it or not, they're coming for them.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We haven't collected student loans for a lot of these students in a long time, and it's time that we start doing that. And unfortunately, a lot of students don't even realize that they're supposed to be repaying their student loans right now.
How is this going to happen? If you're in default, I would imagine, typically this goes to collection agencies, et cetera. What's the process going to be like now that this is restarting?
Yeah, well, the good news is you get about 270 days before you start getting all these what are called involuntary collection mechanisms, and so you can miss about 9 months of payments before you start having your tax refund seized, before there's a court order to have your wages garnished. But if you do miss payments for those 270 days, those things will start happening. And so if you haven't paid your student loans in a while, figure out who your servicer is. The Department of Education even has a tool called Find My Servicer. And so look it up, figure out where you're supposed to be sending payments and start sending them. And as long as you do that within the next 9 months, you should be able to avoid these really negative consequences.
In the big picture, what does this look like? Because obviously we know how prohibitive college is. We know the amount and to the extent that Americans have student loan debt. But we've had this period of pause, if you will, because of the pandemic. Then some people had their loans forgiven, others not. People waiting to see some default. You've got, you run the gamut here on borrowers. What's the bigger picture here on the collections of these?
Yeah, so I think the big picture is a lot of the student loan forgiveness that the Biden administration tried to do is not going to happen. Now, there's a little caveat there because there's still a court case around one of these plans, which is called the SAVE plan, and there's about 8 million borrowers who are enrolled in that plan, but the plan is paused right now while the courts determine whether it's legal or not. But that's really the only remaining kind of forgiveness plan that is still has a question mark. The rest of them have either been abandoned or thrown out by the courts. And so if you haven't gotten student loan forgiveness yet and you're not enrolled in the SAVE plan, you basically need to start repaying your student loans.
So you're basically saying unless you're in that 8 million group where you're waiting for the courts to sort it out, you're due. And somehow, some way, they're going to come for that money. All right, so it doesn't sound as though the Trump administration, or at least there's no proposal with a Republican-dominated House and Senate right now on the Hill, is there?
No, there's talk about reforming the public service loan forgiveness program, which is, this program has existed for almost 20 years now. But other than reforming that particular program, there's not a lot of talk about new forgiveness initiatives.
All right, Andrew, thank you for giving us the latest there as those payments come due.